he's surrounded by so many great things that have happened in his life, you know. He's surrounded by that, and it's surrounded by great people. And certainly that has, in some ways, nurtured him in such a way that he's able to have the kind of passion he has in his music and to translate that passion into a film. So it's well deserved.
You know, he'd been trying to get this project off the ground for about 6 years. And my partner in my company, you know, significant, Nina Yang, she saw the piece and she talked to me about it. We decided to move forward with it and raise the money and produce the film.
I've been a fan of Boots since the late 90s, so it was very surreal for me because there's elements of the movie in some of his earlier songs on albums like Pick a Bigger Weapon and Sorry to Bother You. There are plot elements to it, and then to see that start to coalesce as a screenplay, and then to read, I remember reading the screenplay going, if I had the money, I would put the money up just because I would want to see how he would do this. Like, how is he going to make this film? It's one of the craziest screenplays I've ever read. And then, you know, to come in afterward and do the voice and see these scenes out of context as a actor, but way more as a film buff, it was just fascinating for me.
If a filmmaker can create a film where his first film is so him that it's a Boots Riley film off the bat, that's an incredible feat to me. And I think that's exactly what he did. I think he's brave enough, he's aware enough to know who he is, and he didn't really alter his voice for any other part of this film, and that was what was really wonderful for me as an actor to be part of.
Boots had written me 2 years prior about this project when he was trying to get it off the ground, about me playing Detroit. It was before Lakeith was involved, and yeah, I just like read it, and it was unlike anything that I had ever read before. You know, I've always wanted to make films like the films that I enjoy watching, and so many of them hang out in the space of magical realism, and for some reason there aren't a lot of people of color in those spaces, and so I was really struck by that, and also just like struck by his imagination and vision.
It's been a dream and a half. I'm so glad that I'm working with someone that has such a great vision, and I think it's really great that he's being honored. He's been working on this for years. I don't know if people know that, but he's been working on this for years and finally was able to manifest it and bring it to an audience. So it's just really nice to be a part of that process.
Ideas and ways of telling a story that don't get a chance to get made in a feature film, and we took all of them and put them in this movie, and at times it was scary because I thought maybe we wouldn't be able to get it made, and Sundance helped us make that happen. It helped say, look, this is something that's worth, you know, to investors, so this is something worth your time. This is something that needs to be out there, and them championing it made it happen. It made people listen.
I got the pleasure of meeting the wonderful Boots Riley just a few short months ago because I happened to work with a costume designer that we both know and love. And she texted me and said, hey, there is a voice in this film that you need to be a part of. And I was like, sign me up, out of work actress. I came in with my mom, who is here, and did many different versions of this awesome elevator voice that I got to do. And just had a really great time. You know, this concept of adopting a voice in order to have an agenda, get across an agenda, is one I'm very familiar with. My mom, Isabel, oftentimes would change her voice when she was looking for a new job or we were trying to get a new apartment. And amazingly, when she talked like this, hi, I'm Isabel Dawson, they couldn't wait for her to come and show up for said position or place or apartment. And then she'd show up, a 6-foot-tall Puerto Rican from the Bronx. And oftentimes that apartment was miraculously just sold and that a job was filled. Now, without further ado, please welcome the honoree of the 2018 Sundance Institute Vanguard Award presented by Acura, Boots Riley.
Working in the music industry for 20-something years, the way I've had to do it,
was very much, I didn't feel like I had a team, really. I had to fight and make different things happen, and if it wasn't gonna happen, if I didn't do it, I worried that it wasn't gonna happen. And with Sundance, it was the first time I felt like people were actually doing things for me when I wasn't even asking them to do it. It's only through programs like this and through people who had my back, like on the folks on this film, that we were able to get something done like that. And I don't want to tire y'all out too much. After this, we're gonna party and then we can talk as much about it as you want. Thank you so much for this. Wait, did you get me?